What are we doing with a large tractor out here? You know, we've used smaller tractors and smaller implements for years until we got this about 2 years ago. And I think it's great. It opens up a lot of possibilities for us to farm better, farm faster, be more efficient, which is certainly key nowadays with fuel prices skyrocketing. So yeah, I love it. I almost wish we had another one this size. But over the years, we've kind of bumped up our biggest tractor horsepower was, up until we got this one, we used an 85 horsepower tractor, which is a fine size tractor for the size of farm we are. But doubling that horsepower has made a big difference on getting a lot of crops, cover crops incorporated, a lot of field work done in a timely manner and much faster. And so we've slowly kind of upped our tractor size. Our next size tractor horsepower we have is 120 horse, which is a fine size tractor for the size of farm we are too. If we didn't have this big one, I think that would be a perfect size as well. But I like it because we can use bigger implements on it and wider implements, which again, your number of passes through a field, if you can make it in fewer passes and a short amount of time, that allows you to do more or take some time off, which is kind of nice to do as well. You know, this is almost like it's crimped. So this isn't really going to do you much. If you did another pass, then that would get incorporated a little bit better. But it lays it down like it's crimping, and then it almost, when that disc comes over it again, it doesn't really cut it up very well. It's really too... Yeah, I mean, there's still some green material in there, but it's starting to lignify, getting woody. And like I say, a second pass will break some of these. You know, that's the base of the roots. It'll break some of this up a little bit more. Maybe bury some more of this for the soil, for the microbes to work on. We got a little bit of buildup of material again. So back to timing of your cover crop. So it's just such a big, tall cover crop that's really kind of woody. It tends to build up between your discs. Probably 17 acres of cover crop of 4 to 5 foot tall rye, and this is all I've got for buildup, which isn't too bad. So you gotta keep an eye on that. Weights on either side, and these are very heavy. I don't know what the weight on these things are, but they're pretty heavy. The frame itself is real heavy. So you need a big tractor like this. I don't think a 100 horse tractor could pick this up unless you had like a lift assist kit. This thing's all there and then some. On the side here, you've got numbers for setting depth of how far this disc is going to go into the ground, and I've got on its max setting, which is number 8. And then this top one adjusts the float of your rear. In our case, it's a roller. Some of them have baskets that adjust your height of, or depth of your rear roller or baskets. So if you look at it from this perspective, that front gang of discs that engages your soil or cover crop is angled at about 30. It's cutting, the soil's going that way. The next gang is opposite that, 30, cuts it the other way. So that's the cutting action of those discs. And again, the faster you go, the better it works. You know, because so a moniker for these types of discs are speed disc, and they really excel at higher speeds. You know, in our case, 7 to 9. Again, depending on the cover crop, you can go a little bit faster. In this tall rye, I'm probably averaging around 8 miles per hour to incorporate that. So it's really a little too coarse. It doesn't actually get in. It doesn't really. That disc doesn't really incorporate it all that great at this stage because it's like woody. The stem is too woody to really get you know, cut and disked and covered into the ground. So probably 2-3 weeks ago would have been better, or better incorporating the material into the soil. But that being said, it still gets in. A second pass does it much better. We can do a second pass and you can kind of see how much more dirt that throws into things and chops things up.
Yeah.
But that being said, it still does its job. So that second pass incorporates it a little bit better.
So you'll go over the whole field again with this?
Well, it depends what I want to do.
Ah.
You know, I have lots of options. So down at the Richmond farm, where I'm prepping ground for fall roots in a field that's either rye or rye vetch, I will actually flail mow it, so it cuts it up fine, and then do a pass with the speed disc. I call this a speed disc.
Yeah.
It's also called a speed disc because you can move at a pretty good clip. It's also called a disc plow. And I think they call it a disc plow because it really does neither of those things very well, in my opinion. It doesn't really, you know, in a perfect world, all the screen material would get flipped and be buried under the soil where the microbes can work on it. Whereas if you look at it here, it's actually, it's kind of half and half. Half of it's probably underneath the ground and under the soil, and the other half kind of sits on top, where, again, it's back to timing of your cover crop. In this case, for the rye, it's really kind of too late to really get the maximum benefit out of this cover to turn it in now. But every day I wait, it gets worse. So it really should have been turned in when it's a lot greener and breaks up faster. But at the other farm where I actually want to get a cash crop on, usually about 4 to 5 weeks before I'm actually going to direct seed, in our case roots, I will flail mow the crop, and which really breaks it down. And then right immediately after I flail it, I disc it in with this, and that is a better incorporation. And then I'll let a week pass, and I'll chisel plow it, and then let another week pass and hit it with a disc one more time, and that usually gets me pretty close to condition. Another week following probably, and I use Perfecta to smooth things out before I fertilize and add and shape beds. So there's a lot of steps, obviously. But it does, with this big tractor and all the implements that I have available to me, that I can really do a lot of land pretty quickly, because it's just me doing the field work and cover crops. So for our farm, it's about 30 acres of cash crop and another 60 acres of cover crop. So we have about 90 acres total to play with, but we're doing, you know, we're not doing.
I didn't know you were doing that much.
Yeah. So the beauty of a big size tractor and various implements, bigger implements that I can use with this and other tractors. This isn't our only tractor that we have, but that allows me, just one person, to be able to do cover cropping, the incorporation of cover cropping, and weekly seeding of greens, getting beds prepped, fertilized. So that's a one-person job. It would be faster if you had another person, if I had another field person to do it, but I don't.
So that you've probably got enough to do. You're in the tractor most sunny days, huh?
Yeah. In various types of tractors. We have a lot of different tractors, cultivating tractors, bigger field tractors for field work. So yeah, it's jumping from tractor to tractor, which is fine. Makes it enjoyable. But yeah, you know, a lot of different aspects of those. So your big implements for doing big field work like this. So there's here on this farm, add it all together, is about It's 5. There's probably close to 50 acres here on this farm. That's in cover crop. That's tillable for us to use. So right now it's all in cover crop that was just get incorporated, and then come back in here and either seed another cover crop behind it or bare fallow it, or a lot of different options.